would like to start off with a joke today. How do they greet each other in hell? Hello! I'm sorry. Hello, welcome back to my Devlog channel. At this moment of making this video, I have completed my final thesis presentation. I wore a cute shirt, ate dragon fruit, and the power of Thor and Loki propelled me towards the end of the semester. These past 15 weeks, I was living by the day. I didn't dare to dream past the next day, so it genuinely surprised me when I put my presentation together, because when put together, I just realized how much I've learned, and I deserve a good rest or a big fat donut. I have a short demo of the playable game, all coded in Godot. I will show more in a game announcement or a trailer afterwards, but in the meantime, I'll share this small clip or just like a cutscene that I created. So basically you get to explore the world, interact with people and objects, and certain interactions launch you into a minigame. Some routes have different minigames and player interactions and unlock different scenes. The results of your minigames matter as well, as with a lot of them, it doesn't really depend on just a passing or failing score or mark. Some of them you have to make things, and the game will remember what you made. For example, if you have followed the recipe or not, and it's going to affect the future gameplay. So basically the idea is you have to collect unique artifacts from people who you have wronged in the past to be able to get the key to the Devil's Lair, where you get to save your boyfriend, Basil. So that means that you have to walk around and talk with people and stuff. There are so many different branches of the story that my brain has been going in circles, and even on Twine, which is the software for narrative branching that I'm using, it gets hard to keep track of all the little things that affect the game story. Anyway, this is how the inventory looks like now. It pops open. I'm not happy with it yet, but I wanted it done in time for the thesis presentation, and I'll work on it more eventually. Okay, more on the technical/practical side of the game dev this past few weeks. Another thing I made in time for my thesis presentation is a minigame where Basil tries to catch Dorian with a net. This was an interesting game to make because this happened. I was considering having a ton of Basils spawning in random positions repeatedly, but eventually settled with the giant Basil trying to catch Dorian. This minigame was honestly more challenging to code than it looks, like compared to the other minigames I've done. Or to phrase it differently, I had to learn a lot of cool and new things that I didn't know of before. Also, I added some trailing particles. I had to learn a CPU particle node in Godot for this, and it's kind of fun, so I don't think that it was that bad. Quick tip I found helpful is to uncheck local coordinates so that it leaves a trail rather than all bunch up to follow your character's movement. Because by default, I think that the particles follow the character wherever they go. I was working in front of the screen for hours, but sometimes all it takes is just a snack break or a shower break, and you come back and you realize, damn, I've just been overthinking the problem when it's literally just a simple fix, like a colon or something. I always have trouble with the player movements. I don't like the slide when you accelerate too much. I've mostly fixed this using a higher friction number, but I wonder if there are other ways to fix it. I will leave that to the refinement stage though, where I go in and fine-tune everything, but I just wanted to share that one thing that I'm having problems with right now with making the game. Another Godot tip I found is an animation player node. When you click on a key, you get this little graph thingy, and I have always manually adjusted it, but turns out you can just right click and you get a bunch of options. I almost always use ease in out right now. When in doubt, just right click. And last video, I forgot to show the pixel art I have created. Here's the character lineup so far. These will have to be animated from 4 angles, top, left, right, down. I think the gait is a detail that's really important. I have been trying to give characters unique walk cycles that portray their personality, and hopefully that effort shows itself in the end result. I am also still very confused about how game saves work, so I think I'll leave that for later. I have tried out a bunch of different tutorials, but I just can't wrap my head around how to save what I need for this particular game because it's so narrative based with a ton of variables, and you have to remember if this character visited that place first, or that they visit the art gallery first or the theater first, and that's going to affect the outcome and the conversations and all that, especially with the dialogic plugin. But sometimes when you leave hard things for later, it sort of solves itself. So we'll come back to this in a few weeks or months, I guess. Now that school is completely over, I need to set a game making schedule that I will follow so that I actually finish the game. I'm still quite excited about the idea of this game, which is so strange because I used to be so easily distracted by new ideas. But before I started this game, I've told myself if I was going to quit eventually that I shouldn't start because making a game is hard and takes up a lot of time and effort and just eye strain. I told myself I'll take things one at a time, not get overwhelmed, and that I won't entertain or flesh out another game or think too far down the road. I think starting by making all the minigames is a good strategy. It gives me small bursts of motivation when completing these minigames, and I learn a lot of new things before making the rest of the game. Lastly, I've been working on a lot of the visual assets for the minigames and the world in general. For example, there's a game where you get to dress up the devil. It was fun to make the outfits. Since the minigames are such a big part of the overall game, I'm not sure if I should share too much and spoil it, but yeah. These devlogs take days for me to make and edit, so I've been thinking I'll just post a devlog whenever I feel like there's enough content for one, instead of every week. After all, the thing I want to focus on is making the game itself. It's kind of embarrassing because in the first video I had said ideally I would post one every week, but well, that's life, lol. Thanks for your support and time, and hope to see you guys next time. Oh, and join the Dorian Pink Inner Circle on Discord for custom emojis and fun puns. Please feel free to subscribe if you like, and let me know if you like this video with the thumbs down, thumbs up thingy. Yeah, anyway, bye.